My friend Hal Freeman is a retired professor and lives with his family in a small city south of St. Petersburg in Russia called Luga. While there, he started a blog called Between Two Worlds, where he chronicles his adventures and experiences as an American living in a small city in Russia. And this summer, the summer of 2018, Hal and his family returned to the States on vacation, and I had the opportunity to catch up with them and to conduct this interview with Hal. So I think you'll find it quite interesting. I hope you enjoy this episode from my interview with Hal Freeman.
There is one thing that came to mind as you said that, as far as being strangely coincidental. I remember an old gentleman who used to say, the more I pray, the more coincidences I have in my life. So I'll call this strangely coincidental, if not miraculous. The one thing that we had trouble with when we came to Russia was finding the church where we felt, okay, this is where we need to be. Our family obviously is a bit different. We're American, we're Russian, we're mixed, and here we are. And it wasn't anything bad about the churches we went to. The church in Luga was the main church. That's where we started. It is packed with people for liturgy on Sundays. And at that time, Marina Grace was small, and so there was the practical issue of being so close that if I held her, I couldn't move. I couldn't cross myself. Literally could not bow at all. And we never were comfortable there, not just physically not comfortable, but the whole atmosphere. And so we went to other churches, and we kept thinking, why are we feeling a sense of, no, this is not it? And a cab driver actually recommended, he said, why don't you go to the church in Tolmachova? It's only half the cab fare that you're paying now, because we were going to another church in another village. And he said, I've heard good things about it. So we went the next Sunday to the liturgy at Church of the Transfiguration in Tolmachova, a little village. Very small village, maybe one grocery store, I don't know how many people, but certainly not a city, not a town. It was a village. And beautiful church. We walked in and we felt it was just, the church had burned down, they had rebuilt it, and it was rebuilt in a very stunning manner. And so the beauty of it impressed us. And as the liturgy began, you have this, this feels like home. And I don't want to live by my feelings in church or anything like that. But we felt very comfortable. The priest came out. He actually smiled, which most Russian priests do not do. And so we went, and there was just something about it. And we came out of the church, and my wife said, I really like this church. I said, I did too. And the kids liked it. And so a lady came out. We were waiting on our taxi. We called the taxi and waiting on the taxi. A lady came out, and Oksana, my wife, just said, are you Matushka, the priest's wife? And she said, yes, I am. And that was strange. And I asked her later, why didn't you ask her that? And she said, I don't know. I just thought, that's the Matushka. I know it is. And so she told her our situation. She said, well, let me go see if I can find my husband. Eventually she did. We came back in the church and we met with him. And the first question he asked me, he said, did you play Santa Claus in the play at the English school? And I said, yes, I did. And he began to talk, and he said, and we told him our situation. We're from America. I don't understand Church Slavonic. My Russian is not what I would like it to be. And he said, well, our reader lived in America for 3 years. He's fluent in English. And he knows America. He's a very nice guy. And since then, we've got to know his wife and his, Marina, and we are great friends. And he said, we have others. He said, my oldest daughter is fluent in English. And then there was a couple more people who spoke English. And he said, this church has an American connection. And I said, what? And he said, well, he said, the church was started by, and he called the general's name. I don't recall it. He said, but this general was a general in the White Army. And during the Bolshevik Revolution, when it became apparent that the Bolsheviks were going to overrun the whites, this whole family who started this church fled to America. They settled in Seattle, Washington. He said, now their original family is all dead now. He said, but they kept in touch. And he said this church would keep in touch with them and write letters and always had this American connection. And he said, it's just great to have you here. Now we have our American connection rekindled. And I thought, well, I don't know if you call that a miracle or not, but it's certainly, we're home. And it has been a wonderful church for us. As I mentioned earlier, we greatly treasure our time there, and we do feel like that is the place God had prepared for us to be. And it's been a wonderful time. And yeah, we call that our miracle.
Hi again. Hope you enjoyed this episode from my interview with Hal Freeman. Please subscribe below to get notified when new episodes become available, which happens every week. And if you would, please leave a comment below letting me know what you thought of this video. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week.